Our urinary system not only helps in removing or excreting waste material from our body, these waste can be urea, uric acid, or creatinine, but it also helps in regulating blood volume and blood pressure and adjust the water balance in our body. It also maintains the level of electrolytes and pH by controlling sodium, potassium, and hydrogen ion and bicarbonate level in our blood. This system is also associated with production of erythropoietin that stimulates the production of RBCs, renin, an enzyme that regulates blood pressure, and it also helps in activating the vitamin D with the help of absorption of calcium from the urine. The main organs of the urinary system are kidney. This is kidney that helps in filtering blood and removing urine from it. Next is ureter, which are these pipes that transport the urine formed in the kidneys to the urinary bladder. Next comes the urinary bladder, which stores the urine which is formed in the kidneys, and the last is the urethra, which expels urine from our body. The internal structure of kidney shows us the outer region, which is called the cortex, and the inner region, which is called medulla. Medulla contains these pyramids, which are actually the bundles of tubules called the nephrons, and we'll study about what are nephrons in coming slides. But what we need to understand is all these tubules open into one duct, and then these ducts open into these spaces called the renal pelvis. So renal pelvis is where the urine from all these tubules are collected and then pooled and then transported to the urinary bladder through ureter. Now the tubules that we were looking at in the renal pyramid are called nephrons. So nephrons are these long tubules which help in the formation of urine, and there are about 1 million such nephrons in each kidney. So let's have a quick look at this arrangement. So the first part that you look at is the glomerulus, which is basically the capillaries through which the blood is moving, and here is where the urine will be filtered out from the blood. The first part of this tubule actually is this capsule called the Bowman's capsule, which is wrapped around this glomerulus, and whatever filtrate comes out of the blood, that goes into the Bowman's capsule. Then starting from Bowman's capsule is the first part of this tubule called the proximal convoluted tubule, where the reabsorption of nutrient and water takes place. The next part from this tubule is the loop of Hanley, which you are seeing here, and loop of Hanley concentrates urine by reabsorbing water and salts. The next part to loop of Hanley is the distal convoluted tubule, because it is away from Bowman's capsule. That's why we call it distal convoluted tubule, and it further helps in exchange of ions. Ultimately, the urine formed is collected in these collecting ducts, and you will see that several nephrons are ending into one collecting duct, because the goal is to collect all the urine from different nephrons and then pass it on to the renal pelvis. Now there are three main steps to the formation of urine. First is filtration. The blood that is passing under high pressure through this capillary network is filtered, and the filtrate passes to the Bowman's capsule. So the idea is we are able to prevent the passage of large proteins and blood cells through this filtration process, and only the waste material and small molecule are passing in this filtration process. Then in the proximal convoluted tubule, in loop of Hanley and distal convoluted tubule, we have the process of reabsorption occurring, in which we are able to reabsorb water or nutrients or other important material back from the urine into the blood. The last stage of formation of urine is secretion, in which the cells of distal convoluted tubule and the collecting duct are able to excrete or secrete excess ions, toxins, or drugs back into the blood. So in first step you have filtration, which creates the first filtrate, which is also called the glomerular filtrate. Then you reabsorb important material from the glomerular filtrate. In the end, you add excess ions or toxins back into this urine, and the final composition of urine that is formed is passed to the collecting duct, and then that goes into the renal pelvis. Now we'll have a quick look at how this system also helps in maintaining our blood pressure. So in the situation when our blood pressure is low, a hormone called aldosterone acts on the kidney and asks it to increase the sodium ion reabsorption. So when the sodium is reabsorbed from the water and enters into the blood, it will actually increase the volume as well as pressure of our blood. When we are dehydrated, that means we do not have enough water in our body, we cannot afford to lose a lot of water through urine. That time the antidiuretic hormone, a hormone that prevents a lot of urination, tells the kidney to reabsorb water. So then kidney starts reabsorbing water from the initial filtrate and starts adding it back to the blood. So what happens is the water is conserved, it is not passed out in the form of urine, and the urine is much more concentrated. Urinary system plays a key role in maintaining the fluid and electrolyte balance or homeostasis in our body. Kidneys regulate the balance of water, sodium, potassium, and calcium ion by increasing or decreasing the amount of all these things in the urine or absorb them back into the blood. This helps in maintaining blood pressure and blood volume. Therefore, it works very closely with our cardiovascular and endocrine system. Kidney also plays very important role in maintaining the pH of blood. pH of blood is controlled by two important ions, the proton or hydrogen ion and the bicarbonate ion. So by changing the concentration or amount of these ions, we can make the blood more acidic or less acidic and make urine more acidic or less acidic. So this helps in maintaining a balance of pH, therefore prevents a condition of acidosis in which we can have a very low pH and the blood becomes acidic, or alkalosis in which the pH of blood becomes very high. So by removing the bicarbonate ion and by absorbing the hydrogen ion into the urine, we can actually reduce the acidity of blood and increase the pH to somewhere close to normal range, which is around 7.4. Common urinary disorders are urinary tract infection, which can be because of some kind of bacterial infection in urethra, bladder, or kidneys. You can have a situation of kidney stones, also called renal calculi. In this condition, there are crystallized minerals present in kidney that prevents the flow of urine. Chronic kidney disorder is related to a gradual loss in kidney function. Renal failure is associated with a severe dysfunction of kidney that may require dialysis or even kidney transplant. Diabetes and kidney disorders are also closely associated, in which the high blood sugar actually goes on to damage the nephrons, and then people start getting high sugar concentration in their urine. In the conditions of severe kidney dysfunction, dialysis and kidney transplants are two main options. Dialysis can be hemodialysis, in which the blood is filtered with the use of machines, and the other one can be a peritoneal dialysis, in which we use the membranes of our body in the abdomen to filter the urine. A kidney transplant is actually the replacement of the damaged kidney from a donor, and it requires lifelong support by giving immunosuppressants to the person who has received the new kidney, so that your immune system doesn't start attacking the new kidney. To maintain the health of urinary system, it's important to drink plenty of water. That helps in preventing the situation of kidney stones. People should take limited amount of salts and processed food, again to reduce strain on kidney. Avoid excess intake of caffeine and alcohol, which can lead to dehydration and irritation in the bladder. Practice good hygiene to prevent any kind of bacterial or UTI infection, and manage blood sugar by eating a balanced diet, by preventing processed food and maintaining a healthy lifestyle where it involves workout and physical activities. This will also reduce the strain of sugar on the nephrons of your kidney. So urinary system regulates the removal of waste, maintaining blood pressure and electrolyte balance in your body. Nephrons, the tubules, are the main functional unit of our kidney. The urine formation involves three main steps, which is filtration from the Bowman's capsule, reabsorption in proximal convoluted tubule and loop of Henle, and secretion mainly in the region of distal convoluted tubule and collecting duct. There are important hormones called the antidiuretic hormone and aldosterone, which are involved in regulating the final urine concentration. Several of kidney disorders that we learned about today are UTI, which is urinary tract infection, kidney stones, and renal failure, and how living a healthy lifestyle can help in maintaining the health of our urinary system.